Hi, my name's Mackenzie Wayne, and this is my practice speech for my persuasive speech that I'm going to be speaking about the big lick. Sorry. So I want you to take a moment and imagine this. The crowds are cheering, the spotlights are on, and in the arena there are multiple horses strutting their stuff, wowing the audience, and trying to place first in the judges' eyes. It seems great, right? But if you were to look closely and take away all the glam, you would see truly how terrible of an event that is happening right before your eyes. You will see how terrible the big lick industry actually is. These humans are abusing their power and breaking down these horses for entertainment purposes without an ounce of regret. The big lick needs to be eliminated, not only for other people in the horse industry to stop receiving a negative reputation from the actions of a few others, but most importantly for the horses that are involved well-being. The problem with the big lick is it is the intentional harm to horses to get an over-exaggerated motion for crowd appeal. The breed that this is associated with is the Tennessee Walker horses. They have a naturally gaited breed, and people have been going to extreme measures in order to exaggerate and accentuate their motion even more to get a higher step in order to get that entertainment purpose. They accentuate their steps through many inhumane ways, such as chemical burns on their horse's legs, which cause extreme pain. So every time the horse hits the ground with their foot, they're forced to fling it right back up. They also use the use of heavy chains in order to manipulate their horse's legs in different ways, and also really thick horseshoes, in addition to something we call a stack, which is basically a really thick pad, which can go up to 6 inches, tacked onto these horses' feet. And if you see that, the stacks are even bigger than the horse's feet itself, and they can get up to that big, and that just is not right. One of the solutions to eliminate the big lick, most people say, well, why don't we just make it illegal? There are currently laws in place preventing it, but there are no people taking action to actually stop it from happening. There are still numerous shows going on that support this, and the reason these shows are still going on, they still have participants, are because they're drawing such huge crowds. We need to step forward and spread the word on the actual abuse so many people who may show up to watch the show, who don't know anything about what's going on, can realize how inhumane this is and help put a stop to it. Because if nobody shows up for the shows and nobody enters the shows can't go on and we can end the big lick. So there are 2 laws in place that currently stop this. Law HR 1518 and S 1406, which are the Prevent All Soaring Tactics Act. This basically says everything you're doing to soar the horses, which is like those chemical burns and stuff like that, are illegal. And if you get caught, you will get in trouble. But the thing is, nobody looks for it, nobody stops it, and it just continues. We need to get some real life horror stories, as terrible it is to talk about this, to spread it and grab the emotion of people who don't know in order for them to step forward and say, hey, this isn't right, and we need to stop it. The reason the big lick has gotten so big is through supply and demand. People have their horses, there's a demand for entertainment, people show their horses, they're drawing a big crowd, and they just feed off of each other. If we stop going to these shows and supporting it, they will be forced to end this inhumanity. The effect that the big lick has caused is it's created an industry that's out of control. These people are blinded to the true horrors that they are doing to these animals. Also, it's creating a negative reputation for other horse breeds with natural motion, such as saddlebreds, Morgans, Arabians. I am a part of two of those breeds, and we do take a negative effect because people hear about the big lick and they assume it's all breeds. They assume that I'm treating my horses inhumane when in fact we're still trying to step forward and stop the big lick from happening in the Tennessee walking horses. And so it's really taking a toll on us as well, and all the other breeds really want to come together to end this, but we can't because we're being brought down. People are shifting their attention and focusing on us instead of the big issue. One of these things I want you to think about as my audience is, how can we allow something so inhumane to continue? What ways can we stop this? Spread the word. You now know that it's a terrible thing to do, so why is it still around? Why are people supporting it? How can we keep subjecting these poor horses to this horror? They say that there are laws in effect, yet all across the country these shows continue. On a weekly basis even. They even have national shows, which I can't even imagine the amount of attention that it must bring in order to get to that level. We all need to group together and rise above it and bring light to this negative industry and start spreading truth instead of emotions, even though it does really get to people. And until this happens, these horses are never going to be able to wake up and escape from this nightmare that's produced for other people's entertainment. And so I hope that you stand next to me and we can rise above it all and put an end to the big lick industry for once and for all. Thank you.